Well, it's up there. Transition defenses are we have our staples on defense, and that's the main one because the rest of our defense doesn't matter if we don't get back, and we've started to have some slippage in that. So we worked on transition, we worked on some individual defense, and then offensively we just continue to work on trying to clean up some of the execution.
Is it a lack of effort?
On what?
Getting back.
The transition defense it's habits and effort. It doesn't take talent to get back on defense, but it is habits. It's getting back on the release of your teammate's shot and doing it every time. So we repped it and repped it and repped it today.
Luke, I know you said in your post-game press conference that these kind of nights happen in the NBA. When you watched that game again, what was maybe the most frustrating thing about that first quarter?
There was a lot. It was one of those games that we watched as a coaching staff, but we don't even show it to the players. We tossed it in the trash and moved forward. Our transition defense was terrible. Offensively, we weren't running to our spots, so our spacing was off. We weren't making the extra pass. Defensively, we were letting our individual defense. We were letting blow-bys happen. We were late on rotations. It was an all-around just sloppy game to watch.
When you say you don't show it to the guys, do they watch it on their own, or do you address it, especially with young guys?
We address it, yeah, and we show individual clips. We always show individual clips to the guys. Whatever coach is working with them shows those. But as a team, we didn't have a film session on that game today. But they'll see it. Guys like Rondo and LeBron, they watch every game anyway. But we just didn't do it as a group today.
20 offensive boards for Minnesota, 14 threes the last time you played. Biggest issues?
Biggest issues off.
Yeah, for you, like what's the most concerning?
The rebounding. When we win games, we rebound the ball well. We keep teams off the free throw line, so that that'll be the top priority going against them. And then that 14 threes is too much. And I know Jimmy Butler got hot, and he's a heck of a player, but we went under on some of those screens that we weren't supposed to go under on, and that's kind of, to me, how he found that rhythm. So we got to do a good job of making sure we get them off the three-point line as well.
Are the defensive challenges, is it from just a lack of effort? Is it not communicating? Is it breaking down, not being disciplined? Like, what's the biggest reason?
Well, there's a little bit of each of those things you just listed. One, it's a new group playing together. Two, it's learning coverages and all that. Defense is always, no matter what you're running, if you don't give the right type of effort, it doesn't matter at this level, teams are going to score the ball. So there's been nights where we just haven't played defense hard enough. And then, some of it has been communication and then, a little bit of the continuity of so many different groups and guys playing together.
Is there a lot of monitoring on Jimmy Butler's availability for Wednesday? And if so, does it change your game plan dramatically?
We always plan for, like we played Toronto, we game planned for Kawhi playing. We'll game plan for Jimmy playing until we hear that he's not playing. But until that it won't change.
With both Minnesota and Toronto, you guys gave up a lot of points in the first quarter. Is there a common denominator to the slow start defensively?
Well, the things we've talked about, transition defense. A lot of times it'll be us turning the ball over on offense. It'll be us, getting blown by type of things, not protecting our paint well. So a little of all of it goes into it. But the main thing, again, is when we don't start the game with the proper mindset, it leads to us not starting with the proper effort that it takes to get stops.
From when you were a player to now, do you see a different level of political awareness or conversation in locker rooms?
Well, I don't know about in the locker room. I would say from players as a whole, yes. I think obviously with the platforms and the social media they have, they're more active. But I'm not in their locker room, so I have no idea what they're talking about when they head that way and I head upstairs.
Hey Luke, the schedule always ebbs and flows, and so you have the back-to-back, and this time you have 2 days in advance of a game. Do you try to approach it the same way and expect the same things, even while understanding kind of the Phil Jackson schedule loss thing? Like, how do you deal with that mental side of things for how the schedule plays out?
Well, it's always a feel of how your team is doing, but we go back to back. If we can give a day off, we will, which we did yesterday. So we plan today's practice to be more on the demanding side, as far as let's let them compete, let's let it get chippy, let's let it get up and down while getting in the teaching points that we need to get in.
Can your expectations be any higher when the schedule is just so clearly not a disadvantage, or do you have to be careful to ever lower expectations?
No, it doesn't matter. I mean, obviously that stuff plays into account during a season, but if you ever expect that you're going to start winning games because the schedule is lighter or you have more rest days, you're not going to win those games. You got to be ready to go out and take wins, whether you're playing on back-to-backs or you have 2 days before a game.
The situation with Jimmy Butler wanting to be traded at South in the Open, you went through a similar situation like that with the year when Kobe had requested that trade and you guys were playing it out. What's that like for a team as you're going through that?
I mean, it's not ideal, but you're still, your job is to come in and play basketball and win games. So, and when I played and we did it, when Kobe was with us, it wasn't. I mean, he was our teammate still. Whether he gets traded or the front office moves a player, that's on, that's out of your control as a player. So we embraced him when he was around, and he ended up staying.
It's good to have Beasley back. Good to have Beasley back.
It's very nice to have him back. So it's good having him in the building, and he's one of those guys that makes just being around him, you're in a better mood. So it's nice to have him in the building.
Hey, Coach, in tune with the theme of the practice, defense, is that part of defense commitment or competence? Competency or commitment for your players?
For what?
To playing defense, playing better defense, I guess, is a better question.
Yeah.
Does that come down to competency or commitment?
Both. You need guys that are good at playing defense, and you need guys that are committed at playing defense. And we have both. We've been playing better. Like our defense, where it is now compared to where we were when we started the season, is better. And that's what we keep talking about, is progress and each step of the way getting better, and we've gotten better on defense.